You know what? I've always wanted to give budget tablets another chance. Maybe I can really use one for social media applications, consuming media on a larger display, perhaps do some writing for my website, and maybe some light video editing for Reels and TikTok. So when TechLife Philippines reached out if I wanted to try the TechLife Pod Plus 2, which is just around 14,999 Philippine pesos, and you can even get one for as low as 11,739 pesos depending on the voucher, of course, I had to say yes. So here's my complete and honest thoughts about it. Let's get into it. As always, honest disclaimer, as I've mentioned, TechLife Philippines reached out and sent a review sample, but this video is not sponsored or paid. They will not see this video or even my script prior to release. We do have a sponsor for this video though, which is Rapoo, so kindly spare a minute. If you're looking for a good combination of mechanical keyboard and a gaming mouse, consider the Rapoo V700 series and the Rapoo VT7Max. The Rapoo V700DIY-98 is a full-size mechanical keyboard that features a dedicated numpad, arrow keys, full-function rows with high-quality double-shot PBT keycaps, and a swappable speed silver switches, not to mention a variety of RGB lighting. It also features tri-mode connectivity with a unique USB dongle compartment here up top and boasts durable construction, partnered with a gasket mount design that provides that creamy sound and smooth typing feel, perfect for both gaming and productivity. The Rapoo VT7Max, on the other hand, is an ultra-lightweight 53 grams ambidextrous gaming mouse that offers a true 8000Hz polling rate, a reliable PixArt PAW3950 Ultimate sensor with an upgraded Nordic 54L15 MCU, partnered with a durable 120 million click optical switch and a TTC encoder. The ergonomic shape with a smooth matte but grippy finish provides that comfort and reliability for gaming, a perfect partner for the Rapoo V700 keyboard. So after this video, check the links below to learn more. Thank you to Rapoo Philippines for sponsoring this part of the video. Let's get back to it. Alright, so the TechLife Pod Plus 2 is a relatively affordable 12-inch tablet targeted towards students and young professionals, featuring a good balance in terms of display size, battery life, and performance, which we'll get into detail in a minute. On the surface, it features a smooth textured finish with flat sides and curved corners, and is made with a metal frame. That makes it quite heavy but still manageable at half a kilogram. Around the tablet, we have the volume rocker, power button, and a reset slot here, a microphone on this side, a couple of speakers on each side for the quad speaker setup, and a USB Type-C port. We also have a 5-megapixel selfie camera and a light sensor here, and the 8-megapixel rear camera and a flash here at the back. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any biometric sensor. In front, we have a 12-inch Full HD Plus TFT display with 90Hz refresh rate and up to 450 nits brightness. I have to mention though that the 90Hz refresh rate is fixed or non-adjustable. That might impact battery life, but more on that later. The display quality, I would say, is decent enough for what would be this tablet's main purpose, which is media consumption. Though with the TFT display, viewing angle is not the best, but color, contrast, and sharpness-wise, it passes my eye test for casual YouTube and Netflix video streaming. Now, 450 nits peak brightness is just enough for outdoor use as long as it's not direct sunlight. Now, what I like about this budget tablet is its decent sounding quad speaker setup. I mean, for its price, I definitely appreciate having 4 speakers, albeit the lack of a headphone jack given its size is kind of a bummer. A budget smartphone rocking a 120Hz ultra smooth display, graphite cooling system, hyper signal antennas, AI powered features, a massive 7,000 mAh battery, and military grade toughness, all for just under 8,000 pesos? That's the Realme P4 Lite. Here, let me share with you what it's all about. Let's get into it. Now moving on a little bit towards the performance, with the MediaTek Helio G100 processor, browsing through the user interface is surprisingly smooth. I mean, as you can tell, it's quite snappy and responsive, with no lag whatsoever. So yeah, for social media applications, web browsing, media consumption, all of those things that this tablet was built for definitely match my expectations. It actually scored 522,937 in a Antutu benchmark, with the following scores across different benchmarking applications. Now, multitasking capability is quite modest given the mere 4GB RAM, which by the way is expandable up to plus 6GB using the available internal storage. Unfortunately, and I guess it is also expected, that video editing via CapCut is unbearably slow. I tried editing some clips taken using my phone, and as you can tell, scrubbing and playback are quite choppy. Understandable for the price, but I'll be lying if I say that I didn't have my hopes up. For gaming though, it's kind of a mixed bag. It's fairly capable in Call of Duty Mobile with no lag whatsoever and a very responsive touchscreen, though the larger display for handheld gaming proved to be quite challenging. The same case in Honor of Kings. I was able to play multiple matches without any hiccups even during clashes in Ultimates. But in a more graphics demanding game like Wuthering Waves, it's barely playable even on its lowest available settings. Sometimes it even crashes, probably due to its tiny 4GB RAM. Camera-wise, don't even think about it. The 8MP rear camera is serviceable for scanning documents and quick info sharing, while the 5MP selfie camera is usable for casual online communication. As for the battery life, with the substantial 9000 mAh capacity, it lasted around 10 hours and 14 minutes on my usual PC Mark Work 3.0 battery life benchmark with 50% volume and brightness levels. That is good enough especially for social media browsing and media consumption, which most users who will get this tablet will spend the most time with. Charging is a bit slow though. With 18 watts charging speed, I was able to charge it from 20% to 100% for around 4 hours, which as you would imagine will take longer if it's from 0%. Connectivity wise, at least we have 4G. I'd take that over a Wi-Fi only tablet any time of the day. Overall, I can recommend this to users that need a larger display for social media applications, media consumption, web browsing, writing documents, and even some light gaming. But if you're planning on editing some reels, TikToks, and shorts on a larger display, you will need a more capable device than this. And there you have it guys. Huge thanks to TechLife Philippines for sending this in. You can get this using the link below. And thank you as well to Rapoo Philippines for sponsoring this video. You can also get the Rapoo V700 and VT7Max using the links below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you appreciate this video, and see you next time. Have a great day guys. You're awesome.